Welcome and hi everybody. I'm Jeff Barton and I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We're on each and every week. Thank you for tuning in. Information that we try to get to you has to do with your decisions about whether you want to buy, whether you want to sell, whether you want to lease, whether you want to get into that short-term rental business, which by the way, there have been some negative consequences to anybody who's trying to do that business. As everyone knows, there is a limitation, especially around the Strip and in Las Vegas in general, about short-term rentals. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. Again, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to talk quickly about the listings and what historically that means for the market here in Las Vegas. Obviously, this is a supply and demand business, right? The more you have of something, the less it's going to cost, because people who want it are obviously have more choices. So you have to fit in whatever the price you have in terms of the supply in the marketplace. So in 2019, February, right now, we have about 18,000 properties on the market. Now, people are thinking, well, what does that even mean? Well, let's look at it historically so you get an idea of where we were. A year ago at this time, we only had 13,500 properties on the market. Now, as you remember a year ago, and maybe you don't remember, but listen, the time, February of 2018, the price was going up. The limitations on properties were a lot. If you consider that we have roughly, I don't know, probably 5,000 people a month coming to Las Vegas to look around to see if they want to purchase here. There's 40 million visitors that come here a year to enjoy the city for what it has to offer. So you have a lot of people in the marketplace looking at real estate, both as an enjoyment, both as a vacation, and both as a permanent place to live. So the difference between last year, 13,500, and this year, 18,000, is significant. It's almost 25–30% in terms of total properties on the market. Now, because of that fact, and that may mean also that new homes, there are more of them being built. It could also mean that less people are looking for housing because they're nervous about the economy. It could be that because of the fact that prices have risen so sharply over the past 3 years, on average about 12% a year. A year ago, we were looking at 16% for 2017 that it had raised. Last year, it wasn't so much, more 8 to 10%. So we've got an average of, let's say, 10 to 12% over the past 3 years. But because of the fact that prices have risen so sharply, that's why we have more properties on the market, as well as, obviously, the builders are building more. People are worried, as I said, about the 2008, 2009 downturn. They're looking for signs of what's similar today that what happened then. Well, the signs are not there. We are not overbuilding in the valley. Yes, building is booming, but it is nowhere near what it was in 2006, 7, and 8. We also have a different mortgage market, i.e., you can't just signature a loan, i.e. I want a pick-a-pay, what they used to call. I want a interest only. I want not to be able to show you any assets, any income. There is an ability to repay rule now, which dictates that you have to prove that you can repay the loan. It sounds ridiculous to say that that's even had to be a loan, a rule today, because back in 2008, it wasn't. Anybody could get a loan. So a lot of things are different in this market than happened at then. So why are prices the way they are? You have more properties on the market today than you did a year ago. Prices have gone up, so therefore more properties are on the market. Therefore, less people are apt to buy. Therefore, if you're going out there right now and looking for a property, you're probably going to have less competition. That's why most listings out there in the marketplace today are going to have to come down in price before they sell. Anyway, I'm Jeff Barton. Real estate's complex, but it's a lot of fun. And if you're out there looking right now to buy, I suggest that you get a great agent, and you certainly can find great properties out there in the marketplace today. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We'll be right back.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop our shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for looking and seeing what we do each and every week to try to bring you some information that will help you, right? You're going to want to buy a house, you want to sell a house. There's all kinds of things that you need to do in order to be able to do that. Main thing, you need some money, okay? Most people work very hard. They work long hours, and they only work to pay the bills. How would it be if you could find a way by which you could take some of that, and I'm not talking all of it, a great percentage of it, but some of it, and within a very short period of time, have enough money saved up for a down payment or your retirement? We brought a great person on today. He's been on the show many times, and I really appreciate him coming back from WealthWave. Of course, is a big text, Terrell Robinson.
How you doing? How you doing, Jeff? Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for coming
Absolutely.
on. First
Absolutely.
off, the media presence, the way you present yourself online, how people can get in touch with you is really terrific. I wanted to just compliment you
Absolutely.
on that.
Thank you very much.
The idea to reach people, how to reach people, what is your main focus on doing exactly that?
The big idea in regards to reaching people, especially when it comes to dealing money, because so many people, even people that don't think they have money, they don't like to talk about it. So the idea is to come across as non-threatening, but educational. Not the fact that I want to attack or see what you have, but just number one, to educate you and give you some things on, some clues on what you may or may not have. Because if I pass out that information in regards to you may not have enough life insurance, well, even though I'm not talking to you directly, but during the presentation on the camera, now they can think, well, honey, let's look at our policy and see if we're underinsured or overinsured. So, yeah, so the biggest thing is to, hey, I'm average guy. I've had my ups and downs too as well, so I can relate.
Now, let's talk about that for a second, because I think that most people go through hard times in their life.
Correct.
And I think you can't really advise someone or help someone unless you've experienced some of that in your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that I have. Hey, you know what? As we're sitting here talking about having all your eggs in one basket, when the real estate market crashed, I had all my eggs in one basket.
Right.
So I lost everything. So I know what it's like to lose your home. Had to file for bankruptcy. So I know exactly what it's like. So it's not a false sense of empathy or sympathy for anyone. It's genuine. I know exactly what they are going through and the mindset of how are we going to get out of it. And what happened is people, pride kind of steps in the way, so they don't want to ask for help. But the biggest way to get out of the way is to ask for help and have the professional help you. And the great thing about it is I always reiterate that being non-captive, there is no fee. Free consultation. If you take my education and go to someone else, your cousin or Merrill Lynch, hey, you know what? You got free education from me. I didn't charge you anything. So now you're free to do what you want to do with that information.
I like the idea. I like the approach. I like the ability of a client to decide for themselves without pressure.
Correct.
I think the loyalty in that kind of a relationship is much greater. I think people will go out of their way to try to work with someone who gives them the proper information without cost.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing too, the biggest key, because when I'm finished with a client, I like to do, the big corporations do is call it NPS, a Net Promoter Score. So I like to, hey, what was the reason that you made the decision to do business with me? What did you like? And don't feel bad. What didn't you like? And I've had people, hey man, you gave too many examples. And so I had to crack back on some of my examples. But one of the biggest things that helped me out is when I give an example of a savings vehicle, I also like to back it up with facts. So I show them the document. So it's just not me talking off the top of my head.
Give us an example. What are you talking about?
For example, a lot of people don't know that you can actually retire and at distributions not pay taxes. So there's a savings retirement vehicle out there that will allow that. And it's called a life insurance retirement plan. So as you're putting your contributions in each month at retirement, it's getting tax going in, but it's not tax going out. So think about it. I always ask everyone, will taxes 20 years from now be the same, lower, or higher? 100% of the time, they're going to say it's going to be higher. So would you rather be able to receive your money and not get taxed on it, period?
Right.
So then I provide the documentation and we go over it in detail to show, hey, the only two ways to be able to retire and not pay taxes on retirement income is through a Roth IRA and a life insurance retirement plan, or AKA Index Universal Life.
Okay. Tell us about the AKA
Okay.
Universal Life. The reason is because a lot of people get lost in the terminology.
Right.
They don't understand what it is. Simplify some part of that for us so it's easy to understand.
Okay. Well, the Roth IRA is really for the middle class, and the Index Universal Life is for the 1%ers. And the reason I say that is because the 1%ers do not want the Index Universal Life to be touched at all, because being able to pass it to their heirs, being able to not pay taxes on millions of dollars, hey, that's there for them. But to simplify it is it has a life insurance tied into it, as well as it's a retirement account. So you have everything all in one: long-term care, living benefit, life insurance, and you have an investment vehicle that has a zero floor. So that means if your money goes from $1,000 to $10,000 and December comes around and 13% drop, so if I have a Roth IRA, my $10,000 now just went down to $8,700, but my Index Universal Life still says $10,000.
How do they do that? I don't understand how the company continues to be in business if in fact that happens during a recession, like it happened in 2008.
Right. Well, it's called options, puts and calls. So it's basically betting against yourself. Kind of like, so basically, I'm going to bet that this go down, but I'm also going to bet that it goes up. So if it actually does go down, we just washed ourselves out.
It's called a hedge.
It's a hedge, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So it zeroes out the account. That's where the zero floor
Sounds
comes in.
expensive. How does someone get involved with it?
Well, it's not expensive. Just like you're doing a life insurance period, just going over, I do what's called a financial needs analysis, which most finance companies charge $500 to $2,000 to do. We do a financial needs analysis to make sure that you even qualify for one. The reason why Wall Streeters do not mess with middle class, because one of the questions that middle class always ask, hey man, if times get tough, can I go dip into that money and take some of that money out? And so once you ask that question, that means you really probably don't need this account, because that's what your emergency fund is for. When times get tough, you dip into that account. This is your retirement. It's not to be touched. So what the 1%ers do is that's where they know that their money is going to go in. 85% of Fortune 500 CEOs, this is how they retire. It's through an Index Universal Life policy. It protects them from third-party lawsuits, amongst other things too as well.
And that's because why? It's a separate, like a LLC, or is it some other outside of your personal?
Well, there's certain parameters that were set up. It used to be called a tax code 7702, and then of course they changed it. So the politicians set up certain parameters through a life insurance. See, through a life insurance period, a person doesn't get hit with cap gains. So that's why it's best to be able to hide, I don't want to say hide, but save your money through what is called an Index Universal Life, because therefore the way that the rules and regulations and laws are set up with having a insurance policy attached to it, it comes out the best savings vehicle. And that's why most of the majority of people put their money there.
Now you're involved in this business, doing well. I assume you're doing well.
I'm doing okay.
Okay, great. Advice for this year, if people wanted to get into it, how would they begin?
So first things first is pick up the phone and call me, or you can email me. We do a financial needs analysis. And then let's say after we do the financial needs analysis, you have an extra income of $800 left over. What I look at is, what are you paying in your 401k? For example, if it matches up to 6%, that's fine, but the 401k doesn't have a floor. So I would rather see you put your money into an index universal life. That $200 a month you're putting in your 401k, let's transfer that over to the index universal life that covers you all around. See, when you leave your employer, your life insurance goes away too. This index universal life can walk you anywhere you want to go up until the age of 126, no matter who you're employed with. So now we know that everything is covered, from your retirement, your life insurance, your long-term care, which is a big thing.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
All that is now covered, and you know that your family is taken care of too once you pass on.
Terrell, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much,
I really
Jeff.
appreciate it. That's Terrell Robinson from WealthWave.
Appreciate it.
I have his card right here, so I didn't forget. Anyway, I really appreciate it once
Thank
again
you very
coming
much.
on the show and educating both myself and the people
Absolutely.
watching the show. I'm Jeff Barton, your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We'll be right back.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop for shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We're on each and every week. Thank you for tuning in. We try to solve problems. We try to answer questions that come to us when the show is aired. We get emails, we get telephone calls. Some of the questions have to do with mortgages. Some of them have to do with the availability of properties. What we try to do, again, each and every week is to bring information to you so you can make the best decision possible when you want to buy and sell real estate. It's pretty simple, right? I want to do something, you can help. So in the reverse, we're going to help you with your decisions on whether you want to buy, whether you want to sell. Maybe you want to help a family member get into a property. Maybe you want to get some long-term residual income and you need an investment property. That's what we try to do on the show each and every week. With me today, once again, is a great panel. Charles Giscombe from Malibu Funding.
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And Big Tex Terrell Robinson from WealthWave.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
Thank you very much, guys, and thanks for coming on the show. We're laughing off air as to some of the conversations that we have. And one of the things about real estate that I really like is that you get involved with people who are fun to work with. Now, granted, there are a lot of problems, right? We talk about that off air, whether it's a complaint from a customer, maybe it's a sub on a fix that you can't get to come to the property because you need to get that property finished so that you can sell it.
Absolutely.
Give us an example of some of the dealings in real estate, of the good things that happen to you in the business.
Well, if I can just say, you know what, the camaraderie I have, especially at Malibu Funding and our associates and coworkers like Tex, I've come into know that there's good people, and being a part of a sports background, I'm actually really happy with the gentlemen and the people that I work with because they all played sports. They're all great teammates, and it's nothing better than work with individuals that know how to pass the ball, like to pass the ball, and believe in their teammates. And when you get around a group of people like that, there's no better way to make money. We earn while we learn, and we have fun while we do it together. And that's an amazing thing. And that's what's been happening to me in the mortgage industry since I've been in it for a long time, over 20 years, and especially at Malibu Funding. And that's what I love the most.
Great.
Awesome. And reiterate the same thing, like you said, just a camaraderie, being able to learn. I know when I was in the mortgage business, being able to have that person that I can bounce things off to in regards to credit because my client didn't make it, and they're giving me ideas of how I can help my client get over the hill. or working with the appraiser as well as the actual clients too as well, because there's a hierarchy. This is my profession, so now they understand the hierarchy. I'm the professional. They're going to do as I say, as I will be going into their profession as well. So it's amazing. And just the educational aspect, being able to educate your clients on, because once they get that first home, now they're like, man, I think I want to buy a second home, like you said, to create some passive income or whatever the case may be. So yeah, absolutely. I love the camaraderie of it.
Okay, let's get into a little bit of the economic data of the week, okay? The Fed met last week. We're going to have a holding pattern on rates rising with the Fed. And of course, that affects your credit cards, it affects your car notes, it affects a lot of things other than mortgages, which are tied tangentially, but to a different rate, a different index.
Correct.
Okay? What we looked at is the 30-year fixed rates falling by a couple of basis points at 4.35%. The 15 years fell by 3 to 3.7, and 5-year fixed is 3.8. Rates look low to me. How is this going to stimulate what we're doing in the real estate world?
It will keep people buying. It will keep people being comfortable with purchasing, as we talked about earlier. Obviously, with these rates, when they were increasing, it was taking us into a realm where people might feel more comfortable in renting, because it doesn't make any sense to go into it with the interest rates that way. But now, with these rates steadily and looking low, buyers are still amped up. They're ramped. They know they can get into it. And for us, the refinance market came back, because the refinance market was gone. So now that will affect us. It'll increase our business. We'll have another stream of business, because at one point in time when the rates were increasing, and at the end of 2018, refinances for all intents and purposes had gone away.
Right, exactly, because we were dealing with rates at 5.25% to 5.5%.
Absolutely.
And now that they're dipped down to, what does it say, 4.35% on a 30-year fix, those people at a 5.5% can refinance and reap the benefits because they haven't paid that much in yet.
Exactly.
They're not losing that much interest.
Cheaper money to get a rate and term refinance to lower your current interest rate, and also cheaper money to borrow against yourself now and go get your money out on cash out refinances. And individuals I know are taking, our clients at Malibu, they're taking this money out and reinvest it back in the market because it's cheap money again. 4.375 is a great rate to take some money out of your property and go invest again.
Right. And another great thing by the market moving up and the rates are, like you said, coming down, taking money out and being able to streamline and pay off all your debt and have just one payment now. So now let's say, for example, with your 2 car payments, your husband and wife, 2 car payments, credit card debt, and let's say a little loan, with all your bills, it's $5,000 a month. Now you just refinance. Your mortgage payment went from $2,300 to $2,800, but you're still increasing $2,200 a month back into your pocket. So now you have the option to make that mortgage payment, but also, hey, we can put ourselves in a position to make a 15-year mortgage payment if we want to. And then if we make less money on a month, we can still back it back down to a 30-year.
And to add on that, Tex, the values are increasing in Las Vegas.
That's
so when
right,
that's happening, obviously there's more equity, there's more money to get, your LTV is still low, you're keeping yourself in a good realm. It's an all-around good thing for everybody.
Right,
Sorry to cut you
absolutely.
off.
No, absolutely.
Okay, so some of the economic data is foreboding about the economy in general. Las Vegas economy looks pretty good, right? We have good building. The services and hospitality business is always booming out here, so there's that. Is there any sort of headwinds, clouds, whatever you want to call it, about the economy going to happen here that you guys see may be a problem for long-term employment currently?
As of right now in the financial sector, I don't see it right now for the next decade, and this is why. Because of the fact that if the Raiders were already here, then the clock starts, but then by it's being pushed out another year or two or whatever the case may be, that still adds time. So there's so many people that's moving out here from all different places, number one. Number two, a lot of people don't realize this, but Las Vegas, Nevada is the number 1 place to live, make 6-figure income, and not have a college degree. So those type of people are now moving out here. That actually impressed me to move out here in 2003. So as long as the housing market takes a big effect, because so many people come out here, they do want to purchase a house to say that they're homeowners out in Las Vegas so their friends and family can come out and visit. As long as the mortgage rates continue to stay low, and I know they have to go up, of course, but as long as they stay low to make a mortgage affordable to own a home, I think it's going to ride out smoothly, at least for
But
the
a
next
decade of good employment, I don't see it.
from 2003 to 2007 is when it got bad. But before that, from 96 to 2007, the economy was great. Income was going up for those 10 years.
I see.
And then add on to that, because of the success of the Knights, because of the Raiders coming, more sports teams will come.
Yes.
It's inevitable that we have WNBA, we possibly will have an NBA team, soccer. With the success of these different things happening, the Knights were a very, very good jump start to that situation. They came out in the first year, it was
I
phenomenal.
went last night. It was great.
Phenomenal.
Great. The atmosphere was terrific, and it was a mixed crowd too. You
Absolutely.
figure a hockey game, right? You're going to get one type of person.
Yeah. No.
It's mixed.
No,
Man.
it is.
It was great.
And
Out here it's mixed.
and that's a beautiful thing about it. So with that, what Tex was saying, I think that there'll be an increase in jobs because there'll be more people inclined to come out, more teams, more different things to look at. And also with the market itself, individuals that live in California, the market's pricing people out of that realm to buy the things that they want. Las Vegas is always a great another option to get into a house, to get into an investment situation, not spending so much money. And it's a hop, skip, and a jump away from these different places, Arizona, for California, all the surrounding areas to come into Las Vegas. So I think that may help us increase that situation as well. So I do think, I can't foresee the next decade, but I do understand what Tex is talking about. I think there's a nice period of time in which we'll continue to get growth.
Well,
And think about what he just said. The housing market goes up and it gets too costly in California. Where's the next best stop? I can get to Las Vegas, but if I still want to come back and visit, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump.
I have a friend who left Los Angeles. They had to. They went to St. Louis, Missouri to write. He's a sports writer, so he's writing for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Hates St. Louis, but the cheapness of living there makes it so attractive. They can take a vacation, they can have a nice house, their kids can go to summer camp.
Yep.
These are the things that you cannot replace.
Absolutely.
No.
If you're in Los Angeles or in that particular place in Southern California, it's too expensive. Exactly. Nevada is a perfect choice for people who want to be able to afford a lifestyle but can't afford LA.
And also, if you're in LA and you come out to Vegas, second home option, because it is a place where you would come to vacation, right? So you have that option there. Many things that will intrigue individuals to come. And on top of that, we know that there's some issues with it. But once again, there's no state tax. So individuals that can come over here, think about doing business here, there'll always be those individuals that will be advised to come here or will come here because they want to take advantage of those benefits. So I do believe that it will be an increase, an influx of people that will continue to come, and the economy will still be booming, and it'll be growth here.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Once again, great information,
Absolutely.
great talk.
Thanks
Thanks a
for
lot.
having us, Jeff.
Thank you very much. And I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.